Okay, from 44 degrees north latitude, in front of you, you will see a green box, which is a Coleman 425E 2-burner camp stove. Dual fuel, uses car gas and white gas. By contrast, I'm going to review the Coleman Peak 1 Isobutane stove and basically see how we do. Just under $19, the can of fuel, just under $6. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a boil time of 16 ounces. So this is not my first try with the stove, and what happened is initially, I mean, it was okay, but it just really didn't go that well, and I noticed that there was an O-ring missing in the stove that seals the fuel from leaking, and I don't think the camera can pick that up. Anyways, the interest of fair play and giving us a second chance, I replaced the O-ring, and I'm going to show you the stove. Initially looking at it, looks like all the hardware on the stove is pretty good and pretty sturdy. I like the way the pot supports unfold. I may like the pot supports to be a little wider, but of course it's supposed to be a compact stove. Okay. And so, at a boil time, at 4 minutes, depending on the price of the fuel canister, if it's taking 4 minutes to boil 16 ounces of water, you're looking, I don't know if it's going to be even 30 cents a cup, but still, you know, that's a substantial amount. More of a concern is the entire stove time with a canister when you're backpacking, because you're carrying the stuff. I'm going to do the boil. I brought 2 pans that I would normally most often use. Ideally, I would use a pot with the lid that fits the pot, and I have several. I just don't have one with me. Normally, I'm going to use an enamel cup or a small pot, but because when I initially tried the stove and I see heat really wafting out around the pot, I just wanted something of a smaller diameter, or I mean larger diameter, so we'll be scavenging more heat into the pan before it can escape out the sides. And so we may have a little bit of wind trouble. It's been raining forever, and okay. And I'm just concerned with boil time, and I want to know how long it takes to boil 1 pint of water. I'm looking at my watch. I'm putting it on high. I'm going to cover. I don't know if the microphone is picking this up, but I am getting a little windage. I can hear the flame. I'm getting a little windage that's giving us some trouble there. And I am seeing some mirage. The heat is escaping around the outsides of the pan. I can't hold my hand close to the pan because it is on high, and so we're going to see what kind of time it takes us to boil 16 ounces of water. I guess for the more technical folks, we are probably at 960 feet above sea level, if that matters. Also, the MSR frying pan that I put on there is kind of a laminate. It has a little heavier bottom. This pan that I use for the cover is a single layer. It's a thinner pan. Perhaps you get a quicker boil time with this one, even though it is a smaller diameter. And not only am I looking for the steam, I've pulled this lid such that I can see bubbles around the edge when it starts to boil. And so I may spot it before we get to a rolling boil. So I don't know, we could be approaching an 80-degree day right now, and so my real concern is what kind of boil time I would have on a 20-degree day, or maybe even a 0-degree. So we are, I think we're approaching 3 minutes. And I'm seeing some bubbles. Ooh. I'm starting to see a lot of bubbles. Yow. Okay. And it's boiling, and it's not a real robust rolling boil, but the water is boiling. So I'm looking at 3 minutes. If I turned it on high right from the get-go, we might be under 3 minutes. Okay. So our second chance went well. It still bothers me that out of the box, it needed the O-ring. It should have been good to go right out of the box. Something else that disappointed me somewhat is Coleman, an American company. It's just it's always been as American as apple pie, and this is made in China. Okay, that takes a few points away from it. For me, let's get this lid back on. And I did not adjust the flame. Of course, the box says perfect flow, perfect heat, and I did not adjust the flame for precision to see if you could get right down to a simmer for cooking something that would need to be simmered. Okay, and so that's my review. The Coleman Peak 1 Isobutane stove. I want to say it worked just as I expected it to, and it is compact, and I want to say the boil time is what I would expect. Maybe not on a 0-degree day, I don't know. Another thing to consider, the canisters under pressure lose pressure, you know, when it's cold out. Of course, that stands to reason, and so may change your boil time. But anyways, as a compact stove, I can recommend the Coleman Peak 1 Isobutane stove. And from that 44 Outdoor, thanks viewers and subscribers. Hope this was informative. Hope this gives you a good idea what to expect from one of these things. And see you in the next video.